Hello everybody and welcome back to AI of Euphoria. In today's video I'm going to talk you guys through how I'm going to go about making a minimalist surreal art video. My goal is to make something that's about probably 1 or 2 minutes long, and I want to make it very minimal. I want to experiment with how surreal we can get and how interesting things can get. And I like with this channel, I like to sort of push the boundaries to sort of see how unique I can make things look, and also I guess experiment with different trends and things that are happening. So this is MidJourney. I'm currently on there. I think it's a $60 a month plan. I haven't signed up for the yearly plan. I just signed up for their monthly plan, which is $60 USD, which is different down here in Australia. But this is their explore page, just sort of showing what other people are doing at the moment. Nothing really what I'm after. I'm after something a bit different. I do like that video. That's a very interesting looking, this, mirrored look. But I've been experimenting with some surreal videos lately in MidJourney, and also a lot of, crazy, silly, Bigfoot and alien stuff in VO3. I find VO3 is incredible. But MidJourney, I guess, has always had my heart over the years. And so we're going to go into the Create tab over here, and we're going to start doing some stuff. Now, I guess with what I've done so far is just some experiments. I've literally just written Surreal Minimalist art. My current settings at the moment are, I'm on sort of this 16:9. I love that look for whatever reason. I always go with raw, get something a bit more interesting. I might experiment with standard today actually, because I might get something a bit more interesting for this particular sort of video. Always in version 7, it's the latest version. Keep this as default for aesthetics. Speed is currently fast because I've got some, my credits are up at the moment. I always keep stealth on. I could probably go SD, I don't mind. I think HD uses up your credits a bit more. I could be wrong in saying that. I might just do HD. It takes a bit longer, so I might just stick with SD today. It doesn't look too bad. And I guess most of these videos get watched on a film screen anyway. And I'm going to do 2 variations. I'm not going to bother with 4. I was doing some stuff last night. I needed the 4, but I think I'm going to go back to 2. 2 usually gives you a pretty good option and pretty quickly. So these particular ones, I've literally just written Surreal Minimalist art, and it just gives me whatever it thinks is good. Some of it's okay. It's mostly hit and miss, I should say. But I like this. It tends to go for a lot of landscape sort of stuff, like big things. Surreal always has these big things, and I like to experiment with stuff that's completely different to that. So let's just try a prompt now and see what we get. I want to get like a large moon inside a house surrounded by, let's say, spiders on the wall. Try to come up with something that maybe hasn't been seen before, and we'll type surreal art at the end of that. So it's a pretty simple sort of one. I know some people really enjoy using ChatGPT to come up with their prompts, and sometimes that works quite well for, I did some deep research the other day to try to figure out how to get Bigfoot to hold his camera in front of him. And that turned out to be quite a difficult thing to do, just a simple thing, like I want Bigfoot to hold his camera. So I did a deep research on ChatGPT to find out how people have done that. We had some interesting stuff here. So this one here, it's not minimalist. So I've kind of gone against the grain already and done something wrong, but I like that. That is really cool. So I've got another video I'm working on. So I might chuck that in my dark and gritty surreal video thing later, because I like that look a lot. The rest of them are nothing special to me. They're sort of a bit bland, but let's get back to this minimalist thing. I think that's what we need to go for. So let's say a large moonscape underwater. Let's get rid of the word scape there. That's not going to make any sense. A large moon underwater. Let's say under the ocean at night, glowing in the depths of the blue water. I'll say minimalist surreal art. See what we get with that one. So I really do enjoy using MidJourney when it's working fast. It can be quite a downfall. I'm sure very soon I'm going to run out of my fast credits and it will go back to being slow, which is always annoying. I never use the turbo mode. It cuts through your fast ones way too quick. It is a little bit quicker, but it's not that much quicker. So I keep it on fast for now, and I'll go to relax later. Now this is not what I was after at all. So that's interesting. I've given it some details of what to do, but it's even using the word minimalist hasn't given me anything near what I was after. These are great in their own minds. That one there could probably be interesting, but not what I'm after. Not what my brain sees. I'm going to sort of, not just use the first thing that pops up. going to try something else here. I like the idea of using a moon. I think putting a moon somewhere where it doesn't belong, I think, can be quite a surreal thing. What about a clock face on the moon? And we'll call it surreal art style. That's the sort of style I'm after. I've actually copied and pasted the word minimalist because it saves me having to try to type it every time, because for whatever reason, I must have skipped school that day when we learned how to spell that word. Minimalist, which makes perfect sense. Okay, we're getting some... Oh no, we got some... Okay. Okay, some of these are interesting. Not exactly what I'm after, but it's not... Well, this one, I'm liking this one here. This is cool. It's like a shattered moon and the clock's inside. That's pretty awesome. So this is the thing with AIR. It's going to give you stuff that you didn't really think of, but it's obscured by, what you've already put in. So I like that one a lot. I will animate that one, and I'll do an auto animate. So with these animations, it's making 2 animations for me. Most of the time I will simply right click and go to, low motion. That's the auto one. I'm going to give you some sort of almost slow motion look. Sometimes I do high motion, depending on the video. If it's like a sports video or something a bit quicker, I'll go to high motion. Manual low motion I use a lot if I want to give a particular, like I might get this back in a second, and this might do something really weird and not what I even thought it was going to do. And so what I might like to do with this one is actually animate it the way I want it to. So I might sort of say, like, the rocks scatter off, or the clock ticks, or whatever it's going to happen. I'm hoping it automatically figures that out. A lot of the time it'll do the same camera movement over and over again, and that gets really kind of annoying. So this one, okay, there you go. So the clock's moving on this one, and the camera's moving on this one. It's not, I will save that one. That will be an option, but it's not doing what I want it to do. So I want it changed to do what I want to do. So I'm going to animate this image. I'm going to go low motion. I don't want to move too fast. Manual, and I'll get rid of this up here. It's already put my starting frame as this. And I'll say the hands on the clock. The clock move. Rocks slowly fall away out of orbit. And let's hope that gives us a bit of both, because I would have loved the clock to move, because that 3D element there of how the rocks are moving is pretty amazing, and the movement of the clock is great, and that clock's pretty accurate too. So there you go. Okay, so that's okay. So and what's interesting, I could just type the word minimalist surreal art, and this will give me something that's probably going to give me the right type of look that I'm after, but not what I'm after. And that's the difficult part of getting that particular look mixed with the directions you want. So I could easily go into something like ChatGPT and say, come up with 20 different prompts for interesting, surreal art things. And here we go again. We've got 4 sort of, big landscape images. Some of them work, like the whale stuff's kind of cool. It's pretty popular at the moment, putting like, obscure fish in the sky. We've got this moon thing here, some mountains, and okay, yeah, nothing that I'm really after. I'm hoping that this animation here is, there we go. Okay, this is better. So we've got the movement. The hands on the clock aren't moving the way I wanted to, but I like this one. So it's all about what you like. So this can take hours, sometimes days, to sort of find, a whole collection of videos that all work together in a family, in a symmetry, in an orchestra, of just getting them to, play side by side and have a running theme and an artistic expression of what you're looking for. Now, I mean, this is the thing with AI. Like, a lot of people are pretty funny about it at the moment, which I get. I think it's a complete revolution. I think it's incredible. It gives someone like myself that doesn't know how to animate, I know how to edit videos and, direct films, but to animate, these CG artistic little vignettes, I wouldn't know where to start. And to get these results so quickly is such a breath of fresh air and such a creative flow that just, I've always had the creative thing in my brain, and just to have this, we've opened the tap now, we've let it out. So it's a very freeing thing. Is it a phase? I do not know. But let's try one more here. Let's try minimalist surreal art. Let's start with that maybe. Minimalist surreal art. Maybe that'll give us more of the direction. I know with VO3, it will give you more of what you're after if you put it up first. So if you sort of add your details at the end, it might not give it to you. So minimalist surreal art. A giant hand made of the surface of the moon is crawling along the beach at sunset. It's some pretty, it's whatever your brain can think of. This is the thing, right? Like, this is the freedom of artistic expression. As I said to a friend the other day, it's taken for good or bad, and maybe for bad, I don't know, but it's taken off so many more hands on your paintbrush. Because usually to make something like this, and even I think this whole thing with how films are going to get made shortly is just going to be a complete overhaul. And okay, so none of these, that one's kind of cool, but none of them are after. So what I do sometimes, I'll do just two more. I'll just click on the same prompt, and let's see if it gives me anything closer to what I'm after. It's definitely giving more of the surreal look, but I wanted the hand to be crawling sort of solo. It's not really doing that. A hand made of surface of the moon is crawling solo along the beach at sunset. We'll say pink skies. I like those pink sky looks. And I also want it to be like a macro shot. I want it to be small. I want the background to be really blurry. So none of these are what I'm after. So this is the trial and error of AI. I know with something like MidJourney or even VO3, you tend to get there's like a pattern to how things are made. I know if you just type in some really simple things in VO3 now, you're going to get sort of the same type of videos over and over. None of these are what I'm after at all. The moon is in the shot. I didn't want the moon in the shot. It's one of the surface of him. Like, these craters are kind of cool. I'll animate that one, see what happens, but I don't think it's what I'm after. So anyway, there's a bunch of videos here. So that's a start. That's a great start. So I'll crack open my DaVinci, and I'll just copy these into DaVinci at some point and really start to, massage all the shots together and try to figure out what different shots sing together, how the music can make it flow, and give a really, interesting perspective on how my brain sees things that maybe no one else's does, which is, tends to be the case with everyone's mind, I guess. And it's a process. It's definitely a big process. And, I could probably spend a few days on this one, getting it right. The editing is usually quite quick. It's coming up with the visuals, which always takes the longest for me. I can sort of edit one of these videos reasonably quick. But this is not doing what I wanted it to do, so I might go back to explore for a bit of inspiration, see if anyone else has sort of, thought of something that I've never thought of. That's really cool. That UFO thing's great. What's the prompt for that? UFO apparition, pulse shine. Something simple, really simple. I might even click on that and just make one of my own and see what it does. So I'm liking the moon. The moon thing's cool. I did some cool stuff with faces the other day, but I'm not really getting the minimalist look at the moment. Minimalist, surreal artist rendition of dreams. Let's see what that does. It's experimenting. It's all about experimenting. Okay, so that prompt, you get a different prompt every single time. This is what's interesting about AI. You can never really get the same look twice at all. Get something reasonably close, but okay, we got the hand. Oh, the hand opens. The camera's not moving too much. I don't mind that. I'll download that. So that's moons. So it's all about being creative. And following, I'll just jump around like crazy a lot of the time. This one's interesting. Most of it. I like the clouds. So that's giving me an idea. Just looking at this picture's giving me an idea. So I might say minimalist surreal artwork, we'll say. And we want to call it a giant, we'll say burning cloud is holding up a balloon. What do they call it when you hop in a balloon? Not a weather balloon, a hot air balloon. Let's see if that gives me what I'm thinking in my mind. What's weird with AI? You can put in a sentence, you can put in 10 paragraphs, and I like to go sort of in between. I like to keep them short, not too long. Okay, so that's we got one. We got some. Okay, so it is. Okay. It's not as minimalist as I was hoping for. It's still not crazily detailed. But they're not... Oh, that's kind of real. I like this one here. I'll animate that one. I might even just get rid of that and just do the giant... I've got a series on here called the Things You've Never Seen Before. Or Things You've Never Seen in Your Life. And that was a challenge to try to come up with stuff completely unique and original that no one had ever seen before. And that was I think I did 10 of those videos, and I honestly don't think I came anywhere close to finding something that no one's seen before. And I'm still challenging myself to that, to completely come up with something totally unique, something that doesn't exist in nature or anyone's imagination other than my own. And that's an ongoing challenge, that one. So that's done nothing of what I wanted. Let's just say a hot air balloon, but the balloon itself is a cloud. If I can type today, is a cloud. I'll see what we go with that one. But this one, I'm liking this, like half cloud, half... Oh, okay. I like that one. That's cool. So this is the thing, like you're working ideas, you're looking at ideas, and you're constantly changing with it. See, oh, hang on, we got one here. That's half a cloud. Once again, not what I'm after. I'm going to add a really crazy long prompt for this and see what happens. A hot air balloon alone in the empty sky. Let's say empty blue haze sky. Has clouds as the balloon itself. It's minimalist, surreal look, lonely. The cloud evaporates into the blue. It's not, it's not a lot of detail, but it's a little bit more. And that's, it's an experiment. So this is a lot of stuff here I would never use. Do I like that one? I'd have to probably punch the contrast on that to get that to look different. But anyway, this is oh, I like that one, kind of. Here we go. Okay, this is a bit more what I'm after. It's a lot more what I'm after. So I've given it some more details in this one. This has worked out well for me. I still don't like that you can see the balloon under the clouds. So I want it just to be clouds. But that's an interesting one too. So, all right. So I've got, I'm straight into DaVinci Resolve here. I've just done a new bin. These are all my other videos here. Right click on master and just go to new bin. Wherever you are, new bin. And I will call this one Minimalist Surreal. Let's import the ones I've done today. Select them all, right click and go create new timeline. Create, and that'll give me the shots that I've done today. And there's really not much here, I have to say, but do I like that the clouds are, okay, it doesn't look as good on a bigger screen. That's interesting. That one, I've got two options. Do I have two options or the same one? It might be the same one, is it? So that's a start. That's a very, very small start. I probably need about 100 different sort of options to cut it down to a minute or two. So this is my job for today. And I'll lay the music down later and see how they're all talking to each other. But I like to keep them different. So I don't like to have, a shot of like a landscape and then cut straight to another landscape. So I wouldn't do like these two together. I wouldn't do. We've got a sky and a sky. To me, that doesn't sit right. Out of these ones, I'd probably put the moon between them just to spread them out. But even with that, it's still, they kind of talk. But I'll have to work on that a bit later. But anyway, that's my video for today. I just wanted to show you guys a real quick, video of how I go about making these particular videos at the moment. I'm working on a few other ones. I've got my, this like X-Files looking sort of Bigfoot thing happening, which is kind of fun. And this is one from the other day. This is my other surreal video, which I don't think is up yet, but it might be up. And then we've got Bigfoot drinking at Comic-Con, and it's just crazy stuff. Anything you can think of. That's actually quite funny. So anyway, thank you for watching my videos. I really appreciate it. This has become a very fun venture for me and very creative thing to sort of, you get a lot of rubbish comes out, but a lot of interesting stuff comes out too. So keep your eye out for this one. This will be up shortly. And thank you for watching.